Well, it's Wired Wednesday. Twitter's logo change from the little blue bird to an X has been the talk of the tech world, really just most of the world too. But what exactly is Elon Musk trying to accomplish with this and his overall goals for the social media platform? So to break it all down for us is Jon Swartz, senior reporter with Marketwatch. Welcome, Jon. So much to get to with this. So, what was the reason that Musk even changed the logo in the first place?
He's been changing a lot of things at Twitter.
I've noticed.
You noticed,
Yeah.
right? There's never a dull moment. And in a sense, I think what he's doing in a weird way to make a parallel to the A's and the Giants from last night, I think he's systematically destroying Twitter the way John Fisher has destroyed the Oakland A's.
You think?
Yeah, so what he decided to change the company name to X abruptly. He started charging for blue check marks, which lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
He's putting a limit on direct messages you can read unless you pay for the service. Same thing with tweets. So in a sense, what he's done is he's systematically dismantled the company who I think he really wants to destroy and then turn it into something maybe entirely different.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's starting to look like, which is somewhat expected when Musk did take over Twitter, or whatever this might now be called moving forward. So changes are normal to any company. This is his business. He can do what he wants with it. So there are other functions and service changes Musk wants to make to the platform, but does any of that require a change of the name or logo? No,
it doesn't. I think what he wants to do is a reboot entirely. Okay. So, it's not unusual for tech companies to change their names, like Facebook is now Meta, technically. Google is now Alphabet. But what he did, in a sense, is destroy the brand name and all the equity it built over 15 plus years with this single motion. And I think it's kind of an end game. I think what he's trying to do in his own kind of crazy way is move the company more towards a different type of company, something he can monetize it through, maybe tokens of some sort. Maybe it becomes more of a live video. I suspect, I fear that during the 2024 election, he will let it be unleashed and detonated so it becomes this far-right platform which could actually help a certain candidates. There's also even this weird thought that he turns it into kind of a SpaceX or a Tesla in which he relies on government subsidies and taxpayer money and underwriting.
So there's really a lot of avenues that he could take when it comes to this. So that's just going to be a wait and see situation. Really quick, while we're still talking about what Twitter is, I mean, I just asked you, on my phone even, on my app still shows the little bird. How soon
It's rolling over. So I started getting an X on my tweet deck yesterday, and it'll start rolling over. The one thing is people are desperate for an alternative to Twitter. And right now, Threads is kind of landed with a thud. But I will give Mark Zuckerberg credit for this. He is very persistent. That will become a success, but it's going to take a matter of time, and it's not going to be exactly like Twitter. It's going to be something different.
Okay, because I mean, what we're seeing with Threads, though, are people really using it? A lot of people download it really fast.
No, you can't add users. That's one of the big problems, is that you want to import your followers from Twitter or from Facebook. You can't.
So where do you see this going with the competition between Twitter and Threads?
You know what I could actually see? I could actually see Twitter being sold in some sort of manner, the name and then some of the assets. And I think Threads kind of takes that spot, but it's going to take a matter of time. I think Facebook, what they always do is that when they come out with a product initially, it's kind of broken, but they fix it and then they refine it, and they're very persistent. And that's the thing about the work ethic of Zuckerberg. Eventually they will get it right. But for now, there's going to be a lot of pain in the Twitterverse or the X-verse, whatever we want to call it.
All right, Musk versus Zuckerberg. I'm here for it.
Cage match coming up.
That one is what's going to be really interesting. I definitely want to go to that. All right, Jon Swartz with Marketwatch. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.